Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and friends of my daughter. There comes a time in every wedding reception when the man who paid for the damn thing is allowed to speak a word or two of his own. And I should like to speak, much as my wife sang in the service we've all just enjoyed, with no real notes. Primarily, I'd like to take this opportunity, pissed as I may be, to say a word or two about Martin. As far as I'm concerned, my daughter could not have chosen a more delightful, charming, witty, wealthy, let's not deny it, well-placed, good-looking, and fertile young man than Martin as her husband. And I therefore ask the question, why the hell did she marry Gerald instead? Because Gerald is the sort of man we used to describe at school as an utter spastic. If I may use a gardening simile here, if Gerald's family may be likened to a compost heap, and I think they can, then Gerald is the biggest weed growing out of it. I think I'd be more inspired by a cowpat. Because Gerald is the sort of man I think people emigrate to avoid. He's the sort of fellow who fosters kamikaze units, resolved to driving their cars into his living room until one of them is lucky enough to get him. I remember the first time I met Gerald, I said to my wife, she's that lovely woman over there, propping up that horrendous old drunk of a mother of his, I said, either this man is suffering from serious brain damage, or the new vacuum cleaners arrived. As for his family, they are quite simply the most intolerable herd of steaming social animals I've ever had the misfortune of turning my nose up to. I spurn you as I would spurn a rabid dog. I would like to propose a toast to the caterers and the pigeon that crapped on the groom's family's limousine at the church. As for the rest of you sitting around this table, not directly related to me, you can sod off. I wouldn't trust you to sit the right way on a toilet seat.